This is really where the class action started. Your daughter is somewhere in the city of Philadelphia. She's engaged and she's looking for flowers. What happened?
Right. She was on her way preparing for a wedding to the florist, which was out in an area of the city that she was not familiar with, and she was using her GPS. And she was there driving with her fiancé, and was on an area called Woodland Avenue and 58th Street, which is an area which is not a safe area if people know the area in Philadelphia. It's quite dangerous and can be quite dangerous. Now what happened was the car was owned by me and was registered at her address in Philly, but she had moved from that address and notified the authorities for the Postal Service that she had moved, and they were forwarding her mail. PennDOT did not forward the registration in this case. However, the car itself was inspected and was fully insured. In fact, it had more insurance than probably 98% of the cars in the entire city of Philadelphia. And what happened was the police officers obviously looked at the license plate in the back and saw a sticker which indicated the car was a couple of months out of registration.
Okay.
They stopped her. She explained what happened. They said, and she called me, and she was crying because they said they were towing her vehicle, and she was to get out of the vehicle with her boyfriend, her fiance, and they were leaving her in an area that she had no idea where she was, and was dangerous.
So Fred, as you listen to this story, I mean, some of it you're thinking, not a big deal. Some of it you're thinking quite a big deal.
Well, a lot of the story I'm thinking it is a big deal, and I'll tell you almost everything.
All right, tell me why.
And you know what? They teach you in law school, bad facts make bad law, and that's what you have here. You know, interestingly, the city of Philadelphia has a written policy that police officers are supposed to follow, and it requires them to give the occupants a ride home or to a safe address, which they didn't do. You do not leave a young woman standing at the corner of 58th and Woodland. That's a big no-no.
Right, and that's absolutely correct. They have a policy, and the policy itself is strange as enforced, because as a matter, we already have 113 clients who've called us having been dumped in the street. Some of the most horrendous circumstances I have seen, including a child with his father who was driving with an expired registration Jersey car, not a Pennsylvania car, on the way to an emergency room with his child with 104 fever at 11 p.m. at night. He was dumped in the street with his child who was defecated in the street and was very, very ill. The system is as follows. If you are stopped and the car taken, you have to go to traffic court, which isn't open on weekends and on holidays, before you can even get your vehicle back. So that's so an owner who isn't, it's my daughter, I'm the owner, so I have to go to traffic court on Monday to prove what I already did that Friday evening, register it online, and show that the car was always insured and always properly inspected. It's not like in the old days where the cars weren't insured and inspected. This car, as is the case of all the clients I have, were properly insured and inspected under Pennsylvania law or New Jersey law. So what they do is they require you to go there. Then you get a thing where you take that to the pound where the car is, which is several miles away, and you pay money, a very substantial sum of money. It could be by the time you're done, it's easily between $300, $400, and $500 to get your car out from what should have been a $25 ticket. But then they add the cost to the ticket of
the court costs. So now you're paying to get your car back, and you're paying for court costs too.
Right. And if you're found not guilty, which is the case happening in most of the instances, because it's required that you have knowledge that the car was not registered in order to be even found guilty for the $25 ticket. You don't get your towing fee back.
And not only that, but if I understand it correctly, if you don't have your license and registration, and let's say they stopped you because you didn't put your blinker on, that's basically 3 causes of action, and don't you have to pay court costs for all 3 of those?
Right. You could end up, so an average middle-class person or poor person could end up losing their car, which has happened. Their cars are then sold at auction.